See sucker soup on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day. Kids got their quizzes and I've got a day.
Well, welcome to Schenectady today, in and around the capital region. We're so happy you're joining us today. We've got a lot of great information for you today. We're going to be talking about, and I'll just tell you, we're going to talk about the Waterford Museum and their big event that's coming up. We'll also be talking with St. Clair's pensioners and find out a little bit more about what they're doing to get attention of the public and of the lawmakers. And then we're going to be talking about taxes, tax planning, and also your deductions and things like that that people hadn't paid attention to. And then we're going to be talking about events coming up in Schenectady, big events coming up, and they're free, and you're going to have a great time going to them. It's my pleasure to have a blacksmith on the show today, and he's going to be showing us some of his art. Fabulous things, so great gift ideas as well. And then we're going to be talking to another organization that's near and dear to my heart, which is Girl Scouting. So we'll be talking about that and what they're up to and what they're doing to empower young women. Right now, I'm going to start right. Oh, and our breaks today are going to be the parade again, because if you didn't see it, it was a great parade. So our annual Christmas parade. But right now, we're going over to Waterford, and you're getting a new firehouse, I understand, over there. You're working on a firehouse too.
We are, yes.
Yeah, I see that on the news. Yeah.
Yes.
But right now, we're talking about the museum and what you're doing and having a big gala, dashing and dancing. Are there going to be any reindeer there?
You better come and find out.
So tell us a little bit about it. We have the director, and we also have a member that is in charge of special events. Is that right, Michael?
That's correct. Yeah. So it's December 1st at the Cohoes Music Hall.
Great location.
Fourth oldest operating music theater in the country.
Wow.
The acoustics are amazing.
Wow.
And certainly with Dave and the refrigerators there, it just rocks.
Who doesn't know the refrigerators, right?
So last year was our inaugural year, and we had approximately 200 people there, which was an amazing crowd for a first-year event. We expect to have more, but certainly there are tickets available.
And they're reasonable. I mean, it's really a nice way to support the museum and your events and to enjoy a band that will get you moving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, really, you got a good band.
We do. Again, they've been, Dave and the whole crew, they have the hall and any venue that they do dialed in with their sound and their show and everything. And if you're not moving when they're playing, something is seriously
I don't know how many calories. Do you ever figure out how many calories you guys burn when you do the show?
Clearly not enough.
Because you're really rocking. I know. I was there when you were down, I think, at the Italian Street Festival.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
everybody was in the streets dancing.
Great stuff.
Yeah, great time. So what does all this money go to that you're trying to raise?
The money that's raised goes directly towards all the aspects of the museum, where be it for caring for our collection. We have thousands of items of historical value that are at the museum that are used for researchers. They're used for when we have exhibits. So we need to maintain those. We need to maintain the building itself. It's a historic building too. So
people don't think about that. They just think about, well, I wonder why we have to pay. Why can't I just come in? It's like, no, you got to pay for staff. You got to pay for lights and heat and all the rest that goes with it.
Yep. So it is very much appreciated, these funds, and every time that somebody comes in, it is directly towards preserving and teaching the history of Waterford and the local areas itself, which includes Cohoes.
What items would you say are your main focus?
I'd say that a lot of people, when they come in, they want to look at canal-related stuff.
I was going to say, it's got to be the
canal. That's definitely one
of
of the things that is right in center when people come in. They have a question, they're ready to go. Or they want to learn more about, like you mentioned, the new firehouse. They want to know about the firefighting history, because we're the place for the button fire engine. So we do have some records of that there too. Not a whole lot. Unfortunately, firefighting history tends to come into contact with fire, so we lost some of that.
Yeah, that's true. That happens.
But yeah, so when we have these funds, we try and expand the collection for that as well, in addition to just trying to maintain what we have.
Well, and as people are watching this show, maybe you are from Waterford, maybe you're not from Waterford, but you collected a bunch of stuff from your grandmother or some aunt or uncle. Would those be items, if they were related to Waterford and the canal, would those be of interest to the museum?
When people do bring in donations, we take a look at them to make sure that they do relate to our mission, which is, you know, Waterford history. So we always thank people to think of us, and then we look at them, and unfortunately sometimes they just don't fit,
it doesn't fit.
Or they're too large or something.
But it's better
right.
to at least look at them.
Come bring them to us and we'll take a look. We'll see what we can help you with, because it's really back and forth community effort here, because you bring it in and we try and teach it for you to continue to enjoy it and for others to come in and see it too.
Well, what I'd like to do is to address this to Dave. Dave, when did the refrigerator start? And you were on my show. Now, I don't know if you were on my show, but somebody was on my show. Yeah. And I said, how did you get your name? And the guy told me how you got your name. So do you know how you got your name? Do you remember?
Yes.
So tell
I wish it was a good story.
Tell our audience how you got your name.
We were ready to play our first weekend out. Hadn't had a name yet, and the bar owner was asking us for the name so we could put some posters up on the wall. And so our goal for that evening, we had practice over our bass player's house in Galway, of all places. And we were down in the basement having a couple beers and throwing some names around, and the bass player needed to use the restroom. So he starts walking upstairs, and well, cinder blocks, the door handles. Thankfully, he didn't say the toilet seats. But then he walks out and said the refrigerators, and for some reason, it hit us. We're like, yeah, that's it.
Because it's a solid name.
Well, everyone sees the refrigerator every morning, so they remember us. You'll think of it this morning, next morning.
When you go to get your creamer out of the refrigerator.
And they're fairly large, and we've always been 7, 8, 9, 10 member band, so a larger band. And
so you're walking.
To pat ourselves in the back. It's cool.
Right.
So
I just had to share that,
yeah.
But it's funny because I went to look to find out what your website was. So I type in the refrigerators, and all I get is all these refrigerators coming up
on
under
sale
Google.
too, right?
Well, no joke, we've gotten, and even maybe 3 this year already, we get calls all the time for people looking
Get out.
Oh, one, and I got to tell you this story. You'll love it, I think. This woman, well, I didn't know it was her yet, but there's this number called 14 times one morning. And I saw 14 missed calls and the same number.
You say, they must really want us.
And finally left a voicemail, and it was some old woman saying, can you help me with my refrigerator? And I thought it was a joke, so I called her back, said, hey, you've been calling 14 times. She said, well, I really need help because my refrigerator. And I was in the middle of a meeting, so I couldn't do anything.
You were trying to say, well, we're a band.
So, no, I get home, and I'm talking to my family, my wife and kids, and I'm like, I feel bad. So I called her back. Oh, actually, yeah, I looked up the number, and I could tell, okay, from that number, it's in this address. And then I looked in the region to see, okay, who are the repair guys in that region?
Oh, what a great...
I made the call for her. I connected her up. So.
Oh, well, good guys. You guys are really good guys. Give it there.
True story.
I know, that's really great. So it just shows that you got a good heart, first of all, but we really need to support the Waterford Museum and the event, and come see these guys, because they're really great. Again, it's at the Cohost Music Hall. What date?
It's Saturday, December 1st.
Okay.
Doors open at
Coming
6.
Up soon.
Doors open at 6.
And can they buy tickets at the door, or do they have to buy them ahead?
Or they can go right to the Cohost Music Hall website and buy tickets online, but tickets will be available at the door. Like I said, doors open at 6, show starts at 7. And it's just
you're going to party on. Is there going to be
blast.
food there at all?
There will be light snacks, bar snacks.
Could they purchase?
They can purchase a
too.
cash bar.
And there it is, dashing and dancing with the refrigerator. So make sure you get your tickets and go and have a good time. And you guys will all be partying that night, I can tell.
We
Wear
will.
your little red hats with a little tassel. You can be a little bit of a Santa that day. And if maybe a reindeer will walk in.
Well, there is going to be an appearance by
a
a couple of
special
guests.
Oh, you have to go to find out, right? Thank you all for being here. It's such a pleasure to see you again, and come again next year.
All right.
Thank you very much.
For your 3rd annual.
There you go.
Good. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about St. Clair's and the issues that they're trying to resolve. Please stay tuned.
You guys are adorable in there. Look at you. I hope you're all staying warm. dinosaurs in the parade. I don't think I knew, but indeed, there was a T-Rex, so we're good. We can add them to the list. Now please welcome the John McLean Hose Company, serving the Rexford Fire District since 1923. The Rexford Fire District is located at the western end of the town of Clifton Park and the southwestern corner of Saratoga County. The district is managed by a board of elected commissioners and is responsible for the fire protection and first response of approximately 800 homes.
Well, that's interesting. A we care. I just saw that on the screen, but we all care, and we care about St. Clair's and the pensioners. Dirty deal. What happened?
Absolutely.
So I see a lot on the news. I see that you're getting some support from the legislature, but we really need to go after the money where it is. So tell me how you're involved, how you're doing. I know are you a pensioner as well?
So
Yeah.
I'm actually not. I'm not retired yet. I'm
Yeah,
in my
okay,
40s.
okay, yeah.
In fact, I was in my 30s when St. Clair's closed, and I'd only been there 6 years, so I think my share of the pension would have been very small. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about me personally. But I mean, it was just a fantastic place to work. And
Yeah,
I'm
my two daughters worked there. They loved working there.
and I can't stand to see 1,100 people now lose their pension. I mean, these people gave everything to the hospital, to the patients, to the community of Schenectady. I'm actually quite impressed. They've done a very good job of organizing. When we got the letter in 2016 that it was going to end in a few years, the pension, we made a Facebook group basically for communication. And I just want to give a shout out to people like Barbara Kennedy, Craig Burns, Mary Hartshorn, tons of other people that I'm forgetting right now that have actually done a great job of advocating. They're the ones that have been writing the letters to the press.
They've been doing a great job. And,
Fantastic.
thank you, Craig and Mary, all of you guys for what you're doing, because it's important. And you have a really good, I guess, structure of getting this information out. You could have all just kind of said, oh, well, but you're not. You're moving forward.
Yeah.
So for me, I was there 35 years.
I know you were, Peter.
And fortunately, I'm old enough to get something, but I took less so my wife would have some when I passed before her, if that happened. And now she's not going to have anything.
And you
Plus,
got less to begin with.
I'm getting 50% of what I would have gotten had I not done that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely
You got the double whammy.
But it's not as bad for me because I do get something. I'm concerned about the 661 other people who get nothing. So they had to be 65 by November 1st, 2018, or 62 by the same time in 2015. You could be born on November 2nd and be 65 and get nothing. It's just an arbitrary date
number
that they picked out.
Yeah.
And we didn't see this coming. You know, in the 90s when they went to the church plan, I really did not know the ramifications if they told us they did that at all. I don't recall being told, but I didn't really understand anything about this possibility until 2016 when we got the first letter saying it would last till 2024. So I made plans
Based on that.
based on that, tried to put
And you're
more
not the
away.
only one. They everybody
Probably
did.
every did. Now, in October, we get a letter that says it's going to go away in 3 weeks. We're closing the plan on November 1st, 2018. Some of you will get a letter later on telling you what you get. Some of you will get nothing.
Shouldn't there be like a trust account? And why wasn't this money put into a trust? So that it was there. I don't understand. And this is my thinking. If you have a pension, if you have this is not your money. That money is put in there for use in future use. You try and earn interest on it so you have plenty, maybe it'll go a little bit further. What happened?
Well, when we merged in 2008, sorry.
Yeah.
When we merged in 2008 with Ellis did not take on the pension. So
No, I know, that was a mess then.
The state put in $28 million into the account. We thought we were okay at that point. And apparently, well, the stock market crashed or went down or dropped, whatever, in 2008.
It's risen incredibly.
It has. It's recovered. So.
We've all recovered except our pension for some reason. And that doesn't make sense to
That doesn't
any
make
of
any
us.
sense.
And
So what they're saying, we lost money, period.
Right.
End of it. We lost the money. It's like, wait a minute, if it's in there, it's going to recover. Mine recovered. I mean, you know,
everybody's recovered.
You just don't panic when these things go up and down.
Right.
But apparently they took the money out
I didn't
because
hear
it
that
would have
yet.
recovered, right?
Right. I don't know what they did. You know, we weren't really kept up to date on this. We just would hear something at the end of the year.
But aren't there accountants that are looking this over?
I hope so.
I mean, you're saying you hope so. I would assume that by now
I'm pretty sure
the state would have stepped in and said.
I think it's very new that the state is even, I don't want to say finding out about it, but becoming aware of it and becoming aware that we're aware of it.
Yeah,
so I have no doubt they will probably start looking into it. Now that we have
like malfeasance or something, you know.
It makes us wonder. And both Pete and I have the highest regard for St. Clair's administration back then. Pete was a vice president, and
no, I wasn't vice president. I worked for.
Well, that's all right. But I mean, the point is, it had a good structure. I don't blame the people that worked there because they're the ones that are suffering.
Yeah. Somewhere along the line, and the Catholic Church is involved no matter what they say.
No, they are, definitely.
They sold us the church plan back in the 90s. And somebody, maybe our CEO and our CFO, I don't know who, but somebody made a decision that reflects negatively on the 1,100 people who were working there at the time, before and after.
And it may be that they weren't aware, or if they were aware, shame on them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure back in the 90s, we did not anticipate the Burger Commission in St. Clair's going out of business.
I have to say, I felt really awful when that happened. I really did, because I thought, why are you taking such a, it was kind of a hometown hospital.
Absolutely, yeah. I was a young physician just starting out my career, and I fully intended to make my entire career at St. Clair's. I loved it that much. So, but I think going forward, what we can do about this, I'm very encouraged that Senators Tedisco and Amador have written a letter to the governor to consider putting this into next year's budget. We also have the support now of Phil Steck and Angelo Santa Barbara. Actually, I think Angelo Santa Barbara was one of the first people to actually publicly.
Yeah, Angelo is always very
fabulous. So I do think probably getting it put into the budget may be our best option. So whatever we can do to facilitate that, whether it's through the senators, which I'm hoping it will be, or whether we can all put pressure on the government to do that, I think that's probably the way to go, because I don't know where else we're going to find that kind of money. I'm not expecting it from the church.
The thing that disturbs me is that we're going to the government to do this, when in fact the government had very little to do with the problem. We should be going, personally, I think, and of course I am not a engineer.
The people that mismanaged it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Whether they have to be thrown in jail or something, but we need to go after the people who mismanaged it. It's good that the government is looking at this, but even if they help you, that money should be reimbursed to the government by the people who mismanaged it.
And you know, somebody brought up the whole Amazon deal. You've given $1.6 billion to bring Amazon here, and here you have 1,100 voters who basically are going to lose out on their future.
They won't be buying from Amazon, probably.
No, probably not.
Well, I want to thank you both for being here, because I know that this has got to be a terrible blow to all of the people, and you're talking over 1,000 people. And my heart goes out to you, because I can't imagine what it would be like to know that you're expecting this for a certain number of years, you're planning accordingly, maybe thinking about getting another job, something to kind of augment that, and then getting this slap in the face. I'm so sorry for you, I really am. My heart goes out to all of the pensioners for that. So whoever is in charge of making this happen, keep moving forward. And for those of you who made this horrible event happen, shame on you.
A couple of quick things. Lori DeVario was really involved also with Barb Kennedy. Yes. And it's important that we keep this in the public side.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to do.
Right.
Come back again, keep us posted on it.
We'll keep you posted. We're
going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about, well, taxes, you know, death and taxes. Stay tuned.
discuss the formation of the fire department. Needless to say, they were successful in their pursuit, and the East Menlo Fire Department was born and continues to protect their corner of the town to this day. They'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday season and remind you to protect yourselves from chimney fires.
I love their mascot. Is that Sparky?
And we are back here with my favorite tax people because they get your taxes done for free. What more could you ask for? But they also come with great information, and we're going to be looking at some of the slides that they're going to go through to talk about this. But the first thing I want to say is I understand that a lot of people did not look at their W-4s, right?
Correct.
To change anything.
Right.
Yes.
Why would they have done that?
Well, there's a lot of things changing in tax code with the bill that was signed last December. Maybe like the two-family income person, I don't know, but you had to do something. I mean, and especially some of the retirees, it didn't affect us as much, but the withholding, you know, all of a sudden you're going to get a bill or you're going to get less of a refund at the end of the year. Where are you going to come up with that money? You know,
Well, I hope they don't penalize you too much based on the fact that they had changed all the tax codes.
No, but you know what? One thing they could do is taxpayers out there can get their tax return done if they do it like you do on a software program and see what they owe or what they don't owe, and then they can project it so that they will have enough, because you can file your return on February 1st but not pay the government until April 15th.
Okay.
So that would be great.
That would be a good thing to do. Okay, Richard, you're going to kind of go over some of this information, and I guess we'll go through some of the slides maybe.
Yes, that'd be good. To the point that Joanne just made, Congress changed the tax withholding laws back in December 2017. So the beginning of January of this year, of 2018, there was a bump in everybody's take-home pay.
Oh, but that's because they didn't put it in the tax deduction.
The bump comes because the government changed the level of the withholding tax.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
See, I don't get a paycheck, so I don't even notice that.
So everybody's payroll check, there was less withholdings taking out. So what the
and they were thinking, oh boy, I got more money, yay!
Right. So what the IRS decided to do was start a public relations media campaign to bring to the public's attention the fact that the withholdings were lower, and that because of less taxes being taken out, at the end of the year when you go to file your refund,
Whammo.
you're going to get whacked. And consequently, what the IRS wanted us to promote was that employees do this paycheck checkup,
Okay.
where they can go online to the IRS website. There's a withholding tax calculator that's there. You plug in the information, and then
That's what you're talking about
yes,
right there.
And it tells you what to do in terms of whether you should take out an additional $10 or $20 a pay period to help cover that withholding.
Okay. So we're going to go through these slides now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Most taxpayers didn't even do this.
No, I'm sure.
I wouldn't have done it either.
Nobody even,
thought about
they
it.
wouldn't even, they hadn't noticed it. So with that change, it's important, as I mentioned, that we do the withholding table. With the payroll update, it's critical that every employee do a paycheck checkup. And most people don't understand, that's the W-4 employee withholding allowance certificate.
I think that I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah,
The
W-4. Yeah, I know it.
W-4.
W-4.
Everybody knows what the W-2 is.
That's what you get to
That's what you
pay your
get to
tax.
prepare your taxes. The W-4 tells your employer how much you want to take out in addition to
Right.
the withholding
And some
tables.
people take out for like 5 dependents when they don't have,
Right.
or so,
Right.
if they think they're going to have, you know,
Right.
more
If they-
money, but or they take less, 0.
Right. If they put 10 or more, the IRS will check it out. And
Well,
see.
sometimes they know that they're going to be
Yeah.
losing money and they do that.
Right,
But anyway,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. So everyone should check their payroll withholdings due to those tax law changes, especially if you're a 2-income family, you know, both the spouses are working. If you have 2 or more jobs at the same time, If you're claiming credits like the child tax
Yep.
credit, if you have dependents age 17 or older, if you itemized your deductions in 2017, if you have high income or a complex return, or you had a large tax bill or a large refund in last year's filing season, 2017. So in my personal situation, what I do is I withhold an additional $50 a pay period. So that to make sure there's enough at the end, because I'd rather
get some money back and know that you don't have a
right. And I'd rather give them the money during the course of the year than get whacked at the end when I file my return.
Yeah.
And also to piggyback off of that, I worked at the IRS for over 30 years.
Oh.
And I know. And I used to have.
And she's a nice lady.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I used to claim single zero, even though I was
that's
married
what I'm
and
saying.
had
Yeah.
2 kids.
That's what I do.
I just ignored what that form is so complex. I don't understand it. So I just tell people when they come in or when I do their taxes and they go, just claim single zero. My nieces and nephews will call, Aunt Joanne, I got married, what do I do?
Single zero.
You stay the same way because you want money. Now, CPAs and accountants might disagree with me because they say,
well, you don't want them to have the money and you get it back. But I'm saying I'd rather know that it's there and know that I get my refund. But I don't like the idea of having to scrape up the money at the last minute.
Correct. And while Richard's going through that, I just want to tell you, everybody, there is a publication on irs.gov. It's only 12 pages long. It's publication 5307, and it talks about everything you want to know as far as what has been changed and what.
Oh, really? Now say that one more time. Where is it now? It's on irs.gov.
And it's publication 5307, and it's called Tax Reform Basics for Individuals and Families.
5307.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Good. And it's I highlighted some things and some things are good. I like just found out that a credit for, we have the child tax credit, but that only goes up to the age of 17. Well, what about the families that have kids up until like college age or 20 or whatever, that dependents or grandmother.
Well, it used to be 26 for health, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, this year there's a $500 tax credit. And what you got to do is if you get that form before you go to your preparer, whoever it is, you can at that point turn around and know what you should be looking for. Because the form is, as I said last week, it's changed a lot.
We need Luther. Do you ever watch the Key and Peele? Luther that comes in and does the translation. That's what we need. Come on, Luther. He's going to pop up right behind you guys.
Okay, hello.
The other thing, the other thing we want to remind
We're almost out of time. So
the other thing I want to remind the audience about is obtaining free tax preparation. Part of the Cash Coalition's mission is to support the VITA sites. There are VITA sites located throughout the entire capital region. All you have to do is dial 211, give the resource operator your zip code, and she'll tell you where you can go and get your taxes done. Okay. So we're looking at incomes under $56,000, and we also have myfreetaxes.com, where you can do returns of $66,000 or less.
Right, and if your taxes are really complex, you probably should see a tax accountant.
Yeah.
I want to thank you here. I know you're coming on every month until tax time.
Well,
oh my gosh!
January, February, March,
and but we're going to get through this. Oh, yes, this is going to be a rough year because of all the changes, but. I just I can't even, I know I'm going to sit down and hit that button and it's going to come up and I'll start answering questions and hopefully they won't have too many more updates.
Right, and if you have anything, if you need any help, call me.
Call. Yes.
I got an in.
Yes.
Right.
We're very fortunate to have Joan. Thanks.
Good. We're going to take a quick break. And of course, it's always a pleasure to have both Richard and Joanne on the show. And they'll be on, somebody will be on next month as well. And we're going to be talking next about the great holiday events coming up with Jim Salango. I think I got the right one. Yep. Good.
We have the Capital District Moose Riders and Moose Brats Youth Group, a nonprofit organization helping out those in need, from the ill to our veterans, in supporting their biggest charity effort, No Child Should Go Without Christmas.
Just
Big parties coming up in Schenectady, but I guess you aren't going to have the refrigerators on there. But anyways, you'll have other stuff.
Yeah, we know they're going to be in Cohoes, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have a lot of stuff
Good.
here in Schenectady as
Good.
well.
So you're having, first of all, the bazaar. You're having, which is a great idea, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's outside.
Yeah, it's our second year doing it. It's something new and different. It's that whole weekend of December 7th, 8th. There's going to be a lot going on. Yeah, we'll have an outdoor heated tent outside on J Street in front of
Wow,
front of City Hall, and we're going to have 15 to 20 vendors that will be set up selling
so
everything.
they'll be in a big tent. I wondered how you were going to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then they'll be there. So that'll be a Friday night from 5 to 8. We'll have a little evening, and then 11 to 6 on Saturday. Of course, mixed in with all the great businesses that we have down on J Street and State Street.
Well,
anyway.
what's really great is like, look, we got the Holiday Bazaar on J Street, which was 7th and 8th.
Yes.
On the 8th, you have the City Holiday. Holiday.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
You did, yeah.
The holiday.
That is not a typo. That is.
No, I know it is. It's a City Hall. It's in City Hall, and it's for the whole family.
Yes.
And then you're having, you can eat with chili and beer, right?
Yeah, there's, 3 separate events, but all happening on the same weekend. And
It's
yeah,
a
the
party
City
weekend.
Holiday is actually the 15th annual. And that one is free. There's kids' crafts. There's
We've got photos. I think they'll bring up
photos
some
with
photos there.
Santa. We've got free hot chocolate. We're going to have hay rides around City Hall. It's a great event. It brings
Yeah,
down
there's
thousands.
some photos. Well, they can take pictures with Santa.
Yeah, and again, it's a free photo with Santa that we provide. Face paintings, everything for the kids, the family. It's a great fun afternoon. And for the, I think for the second year, it's the 4th year of the Chili Chow Down and Craft Brew Trail. We partner with Schenectady County Special Events on that. And that's expanded this year. We've got up to, I think we have 18 restaurants and
So
breweries.
what they'll do is they can walk around the downtown.
Yeah. Yep.
So that be like Bombers and all those. I mean, I don't know which one you're talking. Do you have give us an idea of where they can go?
Exactly. So we have from noon to 5 on that day, on Saturday the 8th. You can either print a map that'll be on our website, or you can pick one up at any of the participating restaurants, and you can walk from location to location. And they're going to some of the chili recipes. I mean, for example, I was looking at these like Hunter's on J, which is over on North J Street. Chicken and sausage white chili with roasted red pepper, spinach, and garbanzo beans.
Oh, that sounds good.
The Van Dyke will be doing short rib chili with creamy cheddar polenta on top. More Pareca's Italian Kitchen, eggs and purgatory chili.
Oh my God.
So really inventive recipes.
So you're telling me I should go and eat 18 dishes of chili?
Well, 18 dishes of chili, and then you can try a craft beer
to wash it down.
So I would suggest don't eat like starting Wednesday, and then by Saturday you should be in good shape. But it's great. It's $1 a taste.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's for a good cause.
Yeah, and it's great, and it exposes everybody to the great restaurants and the craft breweries that we have in Schenectady and Schenectady County.
And how many craft breweries? I just talked to Ray Legier last night, and he says another one just opened, right?
Yeah, and actually I went last night to the launch of Discover Schenectady has a new ale trail.
Yeah, at the Aperitivo last night.
Yeah, so that's, there's, like 6 now, I believe, in the county. And it's an exciting way, and this is the 4th year of highlighting the craft breweries in the area. And what we're going to be doing with the Ale Trail that just launched this week is anybody who votes for their favorite chili recipe and turns in their ballot will be entered to win one of 2 of the Ale Trail passes that were just released this week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It gets people out into downtown moving around.
Now, when you talk about the craft brewery, are we talking about microbrewing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Because, I mean, you hear about microbreweries.
Yeah, and we're talking places like Mad Jack Brewing,
Yeah.
Wolf Hollow, the new Frog Alley, which is right across the street from our office.
I know
coming
it's
on
right
Lower
across,
State.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they've got that big building going up, huh?
Yeah, the whole block.
What
yeah,
is going
Lower State
on?
Street is
What
just
is
under
going-
construction, and it's fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be a great. They're calling it the MAD District, the Mill Artisan District.
Oh, yeah, because you're
Yeah.
doing the artists. And then they redid the park there, you know, so now
Yes.
you've got the Gateway Park.
Yep, Gateway, and then there's a huge new apartment and retail complex happening right across
Yep.
from where the old DMV was,
Yep,
right on the corner
yep,
of Erie
yep,
down
yep,
there.
yeah.
So, you know, if people, you know, if your viewers haven't been into downtown Schenectady in a while, it's a perfect
you can't
opportunity
even.
to do it now. And then I encourage everybody just to drive around or walk around. The train station, I mean, there's
Oh my
one that
God,
just
wasn't
opened
that
recently.
beautiful?
See the train station it's beautiful
At
during
night.
the day,
At
but
night.
at night it is lit up, washed in blue LED lights. It is really a showpiece. And I
Yeah,
think people,
well, we needed that.
Oh,
We
yeah,
really
absolutely.
I tell you, our train station was terrible.
It was.
I mean,
think
terrible
we can-
doesn't even cover it.
No, I mean, terrible is too nice of a word
Yeah,
for what our
really. I
train
mean,
station
yeah,
was.
terrible could be good, right?
But now, I mean, I've heard so many people say, you know, I used to always drive
Avoid.
to Rensselaer, you know, but now,
Now they're coming to
They say, I
Schenectady.
want to come and go from this train station
Yeah,
because
there's
it's
parking
really,
there and everything. So
it's
and-
really beautiful. It
yeah.
really is beautiful.
And it's nice because we have so many people coming in for business, number one, but also Union College, and so there's a lot of traffic there.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I was just thrilled when I saw it. It just
Yeah, it
beautiful.
really, it's something that we can all be extremely proud of now,
Yeah.
and you want people. And it was just recently named as one of the great train stations of the Northeast by Amtrak.
Get out,
Because
wow.
of the, you know, the way that it harkens back to the original
Yeah,
design
yeah,
and the
yeah.
elements. It really is, even if you're not going anywhere, I encourage folks to go
Stop
in
by
and stop
there.
by, take a look
yeah,
around.
take a look, walk over there, take
Yeah.
park, and walk around Schenectady. There's
It's
so much
very
good,
and that's why we do things like the chili event with the county and the city holiday. and-
around.
right, because downtown Schenectady is extremely walkable.
And don't just go buy small on Saturday, small day, or whatever it is.
Yes.
Do it all the time.
Right.
Because these are the people that are in your community, they're going to stay in your community, and they're going to support your community.
And they have great, we've got, you know, our long-term retailers. We've got some brand new ones like Bluebird Home Decor up on State Street
Yeah.
that just opened the Clinton Street Mercantile,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
that retail
Yeah,
incubator.
isn't that something?
And they have all these little independent retailers
Are
all
they
in one
open yet?
location.
Are
Yes,
yeah,
they
are
opened.
open. Okay.
Yeah, and they
you
are.
got Sassy something or other with the collectible toys and things.
Yeah, so you really,
Yeah.
I mean, there's such
Satellite,
a nice.
Sassy Satellite or something like that.
Yeah,
I forgot the name.
I mean, there's such a nice mix of places, and more are coming online every day down here.
Yeah,
So.
when we see what's going on, and there's going to be a new restaurant. Lisa's is opening up.
Lisa's,
on the
yeah.
Lisa's,
Yeah, up by.
Foster Building.
Yeah, Foster Building.
So
where-
there's a lot coming on, and if you haven't been, it's like I've talked to people, and they go, "Oh, I never go downtown," and I go, "Why?" "Oh, it's just so scary," and I go, "What? What is
Yeah.
scary about it?" You know?
Right. And again, and that.
But they're thinking, you know, years ago.
25
and-
years ago,
yeah,
when
yeah.
maybe things were definitely at a
On
low
the down,
point.
yeah.
But I mean, today's downtown Schenectady.
It's vibrant.
Vibrant. It is
People
beautiful.
all
It's
over,
colorful.
people are walking, and they're just having a.
Right.
I love Schenectady. Did I tell you that? If I didn't tell you,
You should
that,
have a show.
I should.
You should have a show.
And it should be called Schenectady Today.
Brilliant. Make it happen.
We love Schenectady.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I know you're watching. You may be from Waterford, or you may be from Albany, or Troy, or Rensselaer, wherever you are. I love you guys too. But you know, my heart is here because I grew up here. That's my home. I was born here, actually.
Sure,
so, you know.
absolutely.
So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for
Yeah,
having
and I'll
us.
see you on the trail.
Yeah, everybody head to downtownschenectady.org. All the details are there.
Great. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, Ann.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, you
Good.
too.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be looking at some wonderful art. Stay tuned.
A lot nicer than the first bridge, Noah. I can't hear you anymore. Give me just a second. I'm not hearing that. Well, I thank the Bishop Ferry Fire Department for not using their sirens as well. Woo! Look at that gorgeous sleigh you guys have there. And now a little bit more from our title sponsor, Clair.
Well, look at this piece. Is this gorgeous? Now, you didn't do the leather work.
Absolutely.
You did the leather work?
I do it all.
I thought you were just doing the metal.
No. Man
Look,
of many
is
talents.
that gorgeous? Now, I'm going to pull this out because I think that probably there is a blade in here.
I would hope so.
And now, did you forge that blade?
I did.
Will you look at that?
That's a knife.
That is a knife. This reminds me of Crocodile Dundee.
That's what I modeled
Isn't that what he says?
Yes, that's
And he
a
says,
knife.
now, this is what I call it.
Yes, it is.
That is a beautiful piece. And I have to ask you about the wood handle.
Yes. What?
You did that too?
Yes. Oh, I do the whole thing, soup to nuts. When that started out, it was just a plain piece of steel, and off I go.
And that looks like it's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. It'll peel
It
your
is.
potatoes.
I can feel it. I can feel
Yes.
it. Isn't that a beautiful piece? But look at this. This leather piece is incredible. Whoops.
Here, you want me to get that?
No, I
for
can
you?
do. I can
Can
do.
you do it?
I'm a big girl.
Don't hurt yourself.
I won't hurt
Good
myself.
God.
Good. But look at this. This is absolute. If you love dragons, whoops. And that's not light. I mean, it's not heavy, but it's not light either. So you forged that as well.
I did. That's what the body was a farrier's rasp file, and I thought when I was doing it, I said, that kind of looks like dragon scales to me. So,
oh, that was clever.
So I started forging it out. The file is very difficult to work with. You don't have much room when you're heating it to work with it.
So this is the point of the file.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, wow. I mean,
Yes.
I'm looking at
to
this
get
and
a
I'm
file
going,
to
wow.
do that is very difficult. And then the wings are horseshoes. You can actually see the nail holes from the horseshoes. I leave
So you
that
have a
in.
pretty hot fire to melt that,
sure
to get
do.
that.
Yes.
And do they really do the hot fire and then stick it in water?
Oh, absolutely.
That
That's
isn't
called
just
quenching.
a Western thing.
No, you gotta.
Western movies.
No, you have to. And because I'm the kind of guy I am,
Cool. I love this stuff.
I brought you a little something. This is for you.
Look! Oh my God! Look at that! Oh, look at this! Is that cool? Here, let me put it here. Maybe they can see it better.
I actually made one of those for a Hollywood producer.
Oh
So
my
there you
God!
go.
Well, now I'm really impressed. Look at that. That is just so cool. And I see the horseshoe.
Yep.
There's the horse. Can you see the horseshoe? Yep. There's the horseshoe stand. And then what did you make all of this out of?
Well, the actual man is a railroad spike. His arms are horseshoes.
Okay, I
and
see.
the rest
I
are
see
just
the
some
spike.
washers and steel rod.
And there's another horseshoe here.
Yeah.
That must have been for a pony.
Well, the little horse, yes. You should have heard him yell when I took it. No, he was done with it. I'm sorry.
Do you still do horseshoes at all?
Absolutely. I do an awful lot with...
so you do like working stuff plus the art?
Yes, yes. Well, I don't actually shoe horses. I'm not a farrier. That's a specialized
Yeah, no, it's
blacksmith.
specialized, but somebody has to make them.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah.
So,
Are they made special for each horse?
yes. Actually, there's as many different horseshoes for horses as there are shoes for regular people. So...
Yeah, I would imagine that they'd be,
Yeah, you have your
they
race
come in a
horses,
size
your
8,
draft
size 7,
yeah,
7.5
Well,
wide.
yeah, high heels, low heels, whatever you need.
You know what I want to know is, does your wife get to see you? Do you ever get to see him?
Not much, not much.
You have to go into the craft room here and watch him do this. And
She doesn't.
She probably's there with the bellows keeping that fire going.
No, she usually rarely comes past the door because it's hot, it's dirty, and it stinks, and it's always, wait a second, I have to work the steel while it's hot.
This is just such an amazing, and let's take a look at some of the photos because you have some photos that you brought, and let's talk about that. I love this. I mean, this is such intricate work that you do.
Yeah, the big one, the barn star that mount on the sides of your house.
I love that.
It's about 50 inches tall. The basket down on the bottom, that was a wedding basket I made for my son and daughter-in-law when they got married. She was a big Mickey Mouse fan, so I put the Mickey Mouse in there.
I did not see that until now.
And on the other side is another Mickey Mouse, and on the opposite of the J is a T for her name.
But I'm looking at this, and I see just beautiful artwork. I didn't see the mouse there. I see the mouse now, and I see the J. Now you've pointed it out to me.
We've got it all hidden in there.
Yeah, and what was it on the right? I didn't
That was a
stand, was it?
Yeah, I made that for a church's daycare.
Okay.
And the leaves and the vine work to make it all pretty.
You must just get really excited when you see a piece of metal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you stop on the side of the road and pick up stuff?
Absolutely. There is no metal that will not go abused by me. I see metal and I just have to pound it into something. Yeah.
Greg was like that with wood. If he found a piece of wood, it was like, I'm taking that home. I can do something with that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. The only thing that limits you is your creativity.
Yeah. Now, another slide I'd like to look at. There's the wine.
Okay, the wine bottle. Yep, I made that for my wife.
Now, do you take orders for that?
Oh yeah, I take.
Well, I'm sorry because I got it and it was sideways, so I wasn't sure which way it went.
It's all good. The wine bottle probably wouldn't hold well like that, but anyway. And the glasses are really cool because they're standing. But no, it is upside down. But that just
my fault.
Okay.
My bad.
No, I took that. I took it into the house and it wasn't even painted. And I said, "Hey, what do you think?" And she goes, "Ooh, that's going to go right there." And I said, "Wait."
But it's going to go the right way.
Yeah, but my daughter-in-law wanted a couple of them, so I was making them.
So you do take orders if somebody wants it.
That's basically. A lot of what I do are custom work. People come up and they have a funky idea for something and they want to make it work for them. So the hardest part is, even like with making the knives that I do, is coming up with a meeting of the minds. You know, what exactly do you want? And I try very hard to get that for them. So.
Yeah, so you have to, there's a lot of discussion that goes into that. And I noticed one of the slides that we had, what they had it up there, were all the knives. So you apparently like to work with leather and...
well, you know what the problem was?
Because everyone seemed to have a case on it.
Yeah.
There it is, right there.
Everybody who does blacksmithing, the first question they ask is, do you make knives? And I fought it for a long time. And finally said, I've got to get in on this. I've got to do it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, even if they're just collectible, you don't have to go out and use this on a,
well, what bloody good is it if you don't use it?
Okay.
You got to go get Gator with that or
Mr.
something.
Dundee.
Yeah, right. But, no, I have awful lot of fun with it, and there's a lot of creativity to it. And I know... the folks down at Metal Supermarkets in Albany, they've been phenomenal help, because you walk in there, it's just like a grocery store of metal. You have everything you want. And then there's a couple of real good organizations out there, the Capital District Blacksmiths, and there's
I didn't
a
even
whole
know.
club.
I mean, who would have thought? You know, we're living in the Northeast. Who's thinking about blacksmithing?
There's a lot of us out there.
I'm glad to hear that.
None of them do as good a job as I do.
Well, no, naturally. And I noticed one of your little things was a golfer, so you have a golfer friend.
Yeah,
you probably do one with a tennis racket.
Well, that's it. People come up to me and they have their son who played basketball or a baseball player, and I've done them all: hockey, baseball.
I mean, who knew this when you got the camera and everything, just the old real things? I love that.
Yeah, no, he's kind of fun.
Yeah,
he's
cool.
kind of fun.
Thank you.
Old-time cameraman.
That's Malcolm right there. Hey, Malcolm.
It is.
Good.
It is.
We're almost out of time, so I do want to thank you so much for being on the show. It's just such a delight to have met you and to have seen the wonderful work that you do. You make me look at metal in a whole different way. I'm going to start saving it for you.
Well, you got to come out. I give lessons. Come on out and take a lesson.
You know, I'd love to do that.
You know, we could do that. Absolutely. I'll get you bend and steel. If you can take the heat and the cussing, we'll probably be all right.
I can take the heat.
Can you now?
You bet. I've probably done it all, but I haven't done this. So.
Well, it's an experience.
Good.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you, and have a wonderful holiday. And I hope that we've generated some nice little business for you in getting some people interested in some original artwork. So, and he's willing to work with you. That's even better. I'm Ann Pearl. You're watching Schenectady Today, and we're going to take a quick break and talk about Girl Scouting. Maybe we can get some Girl Scouts in here.
Well, why not? We'll get the Girl Scouts blacksmithing. There you
How
go.
About that? Come
That's
on,
a new badge for you.
Good.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned.
Established in 1944, that was
So what do you think about a blacksmithing badge?
Not a bad idea, actually. Be happy to add it to our collection. We cover we cover everything, and we'd love to have him come and do some training for our girls. We love to give our girls as many experiences as possible, because
well,
the
this
more
is art. This is really art.
Absolutely, and the more they see, and there's also some science to it too, I suspect.
Yes.
So it blends both very well, and that's something we try to give to our girls.
See, I mean, you never know what you come on this show, what you're going to find, right?
I know. We'll come away with hopefully a new connection for Girl Scouts.
Great. So with Girl Scouting, it's changed a lot from when I was a Girl Scout. Believe me, and I'm really for the better, much, much better. We're talking about mentoring. We're talking about empowerment. There's so much that we're trying to engage our girls in, rather than thinking that they have to be subservient and to just, you know, be the little good girl. I mean, not that you can't be a good girl and empowered.
Yes, exactly. We haven't given up on girls making a difference in their communities, because that's still very much what we're about, making a difference. Our mission, building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. And I think Microsoft did research recently that showed for girls and women, making a difference is very important in the careers that they find. Yeah. And they're not just the careers that are helping careers, but also the careers that find solutions to our problems.
Well, look at what's
today.
happened with our election. We're getting more women elected into
more
office.
women elected, finding cures for cancer, looking for solutions, possibly for climate change.
You had a physician on, was a woman, you know. I mean,
a woman and a former volunteer, I would add, as we talked on the elevator. And we have a physician who's a troop leader. She's a pediatrician, and a mentor. And kind of going to the idea of mentors. Girls can't be what they don't see. And so we try to show girls possibilities for their lives, whether it's a physician, whether it's being a scientist, whether it's being a welder.
And the whole STEM thing, trying to get them interested. It used to be that if you were young, when I was young, it was like you didn't want to be too smart, right? Because you wanted to attract a guy, and so you don't want to be too smart. I was a math and science major, so that didn't set well with me. So,
well, luckily it didn't, but you know, some of those beliefs are still present today. And it's amazing, the research will show girls lose a lot of confidence from the age of 5 until 11 or 12.
A lot of it has to do with advertising.
And in part with the advertising, but in part too with a lot of social pressures that come from just other girls and other kids their ages. And so we try to provide a space for girls, not just to say it's good to be in STEM, but to make it certainly comfortable for them to try things, and in trying things be okay to fail, and not to feel that they're going to be ridiculed. It's interesting to see that girls are still very susceptible, not wanting to make a mistake, and frankly, that's how you learn. And so Girl Scouts provides a safe place to do that.
If you don't make a mistake, you don't learn anything.
For sure.
If you don't try, you don't learn anything. So it's important. And I was just talking to someone who was a scientist last night, and we were talking about STEM, but she says, remember, it's also STEAM. Because you have to add the arts to it, because that becomes part of a lot of the science. Science is behind the arts many times.
Yes.
And as you talked about with Blacksmith.
Mm-hmm. So it comes together, and it's not just separate little units, but we know it's an area that for girls we still are underrepresented.
Absolutely.
You know, you look at the area of science or engineering, there are still far too few women who've taken the leap to go down that road, and we're trying to encourage more girls to think about that.
Even in like the film industry and television, women are underrepresented.
Yes.
So, you know, it's everywhere you look. I mean, we talk about the glass ceiling. Okay, we've broken that glass ceiling.
Right.
But have we broken that glass ceiling?
Hopefully we've cracked it.
Yeah, we've gotten a nice crack in it.
And would love to have you come.
I need some from the Blacksmith to get that crack broken.
Yes, crack it open, but have you come and talk with girls. You would be great. You know, your television.
Yeah.
What is that like? What's it like to be a host of your own show? Yeah. For a lot of girls, that's something that's far away, and they don't connect that maybe I could do that one day. So we would love to have you.
Well, and it's interesting because I talk about math and science major, and this has never been my profession. I was going to do this for a year. And I'm now in my 21st year.
How many years ago was that?
Yes. First year.
Right.
But I never thought I'd be doing this because I had a whole career in science before this.
I know. So we would love to have you be a mentor, because it's women like yourself that really make that difference and help show a girl that this is what the possibilities could be.
Everything is possible.
Yes.
If you just if you look at that star and try and reach for it,
Right.
you may not touch it, but you may get pretty darn close.
Yes. And when girls hear that from women like yourself, you know, that empowers them to go forward and take some of those chances, realizing that it's going to be okay. And it's women like yourself, our volunteers, who make that difference, whether they're troop leaders and taking a troop of daisies into the community to do pickup of litter to show them how to do community service, or they're taking a cadet troop to the United Nations, to New York City for the first time, and you see their eyes open wide because they've never been to the big city, and it suddenly opens up, you know, a whole new world for them. Or something as simple as helping the ambassador senior Girl Scouts learn how to manage and maintain an automobile for the first time, because
And, you know, I think that's important. You need to learn all of that.
Those are all life skills.
I need to just say who's coming up next week, and then we'll come back and talk. Okay. Classic Theater Guild is coming on. They're doing the best Christmas pageant ever. The CM School of Fine Arts, they're doing A Nightmare Before Christmas. We'll be talking about that. The Mendelsohn Club is going to be talking about their events coming up. And Schenectady Civic Players will be talking about looking at Christmas. I guess everything's about Christmas anymore, right?
It's the time of year.
It's the time of year, so we should just enjoy it, whether it's snowing out or not. Who cares, you know? Just enjoy it. I loved what you said about cars, because to me, I learned a lot about cars. I can change a spark plug. I don't know if I can do it anymore because of the way the engines are. You know, you have to look at that. But it's important to, even if you can't do it, to know about it, because then you are educated. No one will take advantage of you because you have enough knowledge behind it.
Right.
And that's what I think we're talking about with empowerment.
Yes.
Is to learn.
Yes, absolutely. And whether it's learning about cars, thinking about becoming a physician, or learning how to weld, we provide all of those for girls.
Yep, I've done soldering, and I've sweated a joint for the, not the ones you smoke, but the for plumbing.
Yes, but it is about the girls, and frankly, it's our volunteers. You know, we touch almost 1 in 10 school-age girls throughout the 15 counties of northeastern New York, and it's because of over 3,500 volunteers who make that happen.
And you need volunteers. Can you ask people to volunteer? What do they need to do to volunteer?
They need to start by just calling us, reaching us at our number, 518-489-8110. And when you reach somebody, just tell them, I'd like to volunteer with the Girl Scouts. We do have a process. We vet all of our volunteers. Background checks are very important, but anyone can volunteer, and we are very happy to have them join us in doing volunteer work, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, and so that they can volunteer for a little bit or a lot, or what?
They can volunteer for maybe a single program, or if they have the time, we would love to have them consider, you know, working with a troop. So everything from 1 day to an entire year, whatever they've got the time and the interest in doing.
Yeah, we really need more women to step up, and you know, we talk about pay it forward. We need to pay it to the ones that are coming up.
Well, the next generation.
The next generation needs to be paid too.
And in helping girls who have dreams grow into becoming women of vision.
Yeah, and know that they're